What up, YouTube? Flash Speaks back. Friday morning. Love Fridays. End of the week. Best day of the week. Get to go to Juma. Love Fridays. Last night was an interesting game of football. You had the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks came into Dallas with a 6-5 record, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. Very desperate, very dangerous team. Dallas Cowboys at home. I think they won 12 straight games at home, something like that, right? So this was slated to be and was going to be, the biggest test for them. I wouldn't say it's the biggest test for them for the year, but it's the biggest test since they played us, since they played the Philadelphia Eagles, and they passed. Dallas Cowboys passed, man. The team, I think, showed the greatest amount of mental toughness they've shown all year. I give them some credit for the winning streak they were on, because even though they were playing subpar teams that are not as good as they are, even Seattle's not as good as they are. I think everyone knew that. That's why they were 11-point favorites going into it. But I still respect the win because the Seattle Seahawks were desperate, right? Now to break the game down, I do it like this. Dak Prescott was great in this game for the most part. He was great. He was showing good command of the offense. He was spreading the ball around. Of course, heavy going to CeeDee Lamb, which is normal. That's fine. That's the number one receiver on the team. Offensive line played well. They were pretty effective on the run game. I wouldn't say it was dominant or scary or anything, but they were pretty effective. The way they use CeeDee Lamb is very smart. If the NFL isn't going to have their best corners follow him, sure, keep putting him up against linebackers, putting him up against safeties in that slot, and putting him up against subpar corners in that slot. He gets off. It is what it is. Now, do I think this puts Dak Prescott squarely in the MVP race? I'll put it like this. It's the first game, in my opinion, that would qualify as a game that you can make an argument for. The first one. And it's not because the defense he faced was great. Make no mistake, the Seattle Seahawks have a 23rd ranked defense overall. 22nd ranked defense overall. Okay, that's bottom third in the league, and a 23rd ranked pass defense. Okay, so it's not like he was going up against a juggernaut, of course, but that's okay. It still qualifies as one of those types of games because his defense wasn't there, and he had to keep scoring. The offense had to keep scoring. Now, there were certain times in the game where I think the officials were abysmal. And the abysmalness, I would say on both sides. I'm not one to complain about refs. I'm not. But I don't. What you see is what you see. It is what it is. When Dallas came out, Seattle takes a 1-point lead going into the half. Seattle gets the ball. Seattle comes out. They march down the field. In that third quarter, first drive, they make it an 8-point lead. After that 8-point lead, when Dallas received the ball, that particular drive, was the most disgraceful, utterly abysmal officiating I've ever seen in all of my years of watching football. I'm dead serious. And I remember in any sport, I've watched, championships finals with the San Antonio Spurs Game 7s and the Bulls Game 7s, and the officials be tripping, for the home team in those situations. But this situation is the most disgraceful, abysmal officiating, especially that drive, where you know any type of contact with the receiver, minimal at best or anything, was just a flag. And then the timing, the timeliness of them. You know, flags. If you violate, if the player violates just the letter of the law, you create a situation where the officials can call a flag. I get it, right? And I can't say Seattle wasn't. Seattle players were doing absolutely nothing, right? So it's kind of enough for the officials to throw the flag. But these were situations where, I mean, Dallas would not have converted at all. You know, we're talking about the most minimal of touching that just didn't impede routes or anything like that. They were just throwing flags. It was horrible, that drive. I don't believe the NFL's rigged. I don't believe they engage in that. But these are the types of drives that leads the skeptic to saying that NFL's rigged. That, and I don't ever want to hear a Dallas Cowboy fan ever talk about their refs officiating or having a bias towards the Philadelphia Eagles. Not after that. Not after that. If you have any ounce of sincerity in you, and you're not just a person that, you know, you love the refs when they're on your side and you hate them when they're not. Like, that's just as a man, you know, you got to be more sincere than that, right? I try not to be that fan. I really do. So I'm not going to say like the Seattle wasn't giving them anything to work with, but the reality is Seattle, I mean, they're trying to play defense. You know, are you going to let guys play defense or not? You know, do you want just 50 points every game, or, you know, that's the thing. And I totally disagree with this modern day notion that you know, scoring makes games better, or scoring is what people want to see. I don't agree with that. What people want to see is competition, and what they want to see is the best doing great things. That's what people want to see. And I know this because, you know, if you research sports and competition, what is the most famous sport in the world? Not just America, around the world. The most famous sport in the world is what they call football outside of America, or soccer, what we call soccer. Soccer games have nothing to do with scoring. And those fans love that stuff. Soccer games, man, you might have 2 points in the soccer game, 3 goals, 4 goals. If you have 5 goals in a soccer game, you blew somebody out. And the secret to it is that when points are hard to come by, they are automatically more precious. When a point is hard to come by, it's more precious. Whereas in basketball, points aren't that precious because they just, you know, constantly being scored. You know, touchdowns should be closer to what like a soccer game is, really. It's just that in football we count in sevens or count in sixes plus ones, right? As opposed to just counting one goal, you know. But at any rate, that's the way we do football. I don't ever want to hear y'all complain about that, because that's ridiculous. But this is going to be this is just the start of what it's going to be for Dallas. You see, Dallas is about to embark on a bunch of games that are going to be similar to that. You know, you're not going to go in there and just blow out the Eagles. You're not going to go in there and just blow out Buffalo. You're not going to go in there and just blow out Miami. You know, you're going to see what it's like now. You know, where the Eagles have been living. And the reason Jalen Hurts is first in MVP voting, a lot of it has to do with how bad the Eagles defense is. That's part of it. You know, the defense puts him in situations where they make timely stops here and there, but by and large, they put him in situations where he has to keep bailing the team out. This is the first time Dak Prescott was put in that situation. And I'm not going to act like the refs just helped him with everything, but there were two drives that were absolutely, influenced by the refs, helped by the refs. Got to be real. I'm not going to say he didn't, because he did his thing, man. His best, I think his best play was, where everyone was covered and he getting out of the pocket and he's almost tackled and he kind of flicks the ball over to Ferguson. That was a thing of beauty, it's playmaking. And then that's the thing that Dak has to keep up, I think, in order to stand out amongst the quarterbacks in the league. But this is the thing, Dallas. This is the stretch that's going to determine what they're made of. But so far, man, good job, good game. See y'all later. Peace.